Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so we're still looking for that further evidence, that we're looking for a bigger push up here towards this 20,058. Sorry, 2058. I'm still in BTC mode. Basically, we're looking for the potential of this third wave to play out to the upside here. So it is possible we could have formed a 1-2 in here, and then we're actually looking to push to the upside here. However, we still haven't invalidated some of those bearish alternatives where we're looking for a bigger corrective structure here, and could actually still look to break down for as long as we stay below this 1847. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Potentially we could look to actually form something like this within this structure where we actually form this as a 1-2, get a 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside, which could actually look to either bring us into this channel if it is just a three-wave move again, or alternatively, we could actually see, this move start to push to the upside here. So we're going to discuss both of those potentials and what needs to happen for us to look for this continuation and this push to the upside, looking for this ideal target for this third wave up here at this 2058 area. Okay, so we are talking about a couple of things yesterday within the video, and we were talking about the possibility that we're looking for this as an A, B, and then we're looking for this zone down here, for a C wave within this structure. And we actually came down to the 1764, and we have started to turn around from here. So the problem is really until we take this high, I'm just being cautious, this 1847, we need to just be aware that we could still face rejection here and look to move to the downside. At the moment, it does look like we're getting a five-wave move up here, but I'd like to see one more wave to the upside. And even then, what we need to do is find support again and then actually look for that continuation. So what we're looking at here is potentially this could be a low. So for as long as we hold this low, this 1762, basically, we can look for this continuation to the upside here, where this then becomes a 1-2, and then we start to break up, and that would look something like this. So I'm just going to switch over here to the internals. Ideally, what I'd like to see, I'm actually going to go into the 30 minutes because it's a little bit more detail. So the way I'm currently looking at it is that we have a 1-2 in here. Basically, all of this becomes a third wave, and then we're looking for this fourth wave and this fifth wave to the upside. So for as long as we hold this zone of the 1794, basically I'll be looking for this potential fifth wave up here. So this zone here would actually be this 1828 to this 1821. This would be a typical fifth wave zone. And what we'd want to see from there, basically, if this does play out, we want to see an additional leg up here, and then we want to see a three-wave structure develop to the downside, potentially coming back into the 1793 to the 1775 area. And then from there, what we'd then be looking for is further progression to the upside, looking for a bigger move. So if we did actually come back into the support zone here, what we'd be looking for basically is another five-wave move to the upside here. So what's going to be key is if we get a five-wave move that pushes up towards this zone here of this 1885. What would be then looking for is a three-wave move and then a continuation to the upside. However, we need to be just cautious a little bit here. If we just get a move up here like this, where we rather get a five-wave structure here, which actually forms something like this, and rather we come up towards this one-to-one, where this becomes A, B, and C, we could still look for a breakdown. Technically, that could actually bring us back into this area for a double top here, and then this correction might not be completed. So it could be getting more complex in the way that it's working. This could then become an A wave, we get a B wave up, and then we get actually that bigger C wave to the downside. So we're just gonna have to be a little bit patient with this one. We are rejecting off this area here. So ideally I'd like to see a fifth wave up here and then finding support again above this low and then looking for this to continue. Whether it's up in a three-wave move, which could potentially take us up to this 1847, or a bigger five-wave structure here, which could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, looking to take us up potentially towards this 1909 to this 1895. Obviously, we have to be aware that there can be extensions within these, and sometimes we might not get as deep retracements. And there could be an extension within this move itself where we form this as a 1-2, this becomes another 1-2, and then it actually has a direct push to the upside. But we don't really have that information at the moment. And from what I can see, this is my best interpretation of it. Potentially we could look for rejection in this zone, test these highs here for that fifth wave, get that second wave, and then look for this actually to push up in this manner. So what we would be looking for, the key zone we'd be looking for here, the problem is this would be much shorter than the potential than the typical third wave that we'd be looking for up here towards this 2023. So if we did just get a three-wave move up here, and this move didn't develop as a five-wave move, we just get A, B, and C, and we come up into this zone. Potentially we'd have to be cautious because this could then become a wave to the downside. This could be a B wave up, and we still form a bigger five-wave structure to the downside, potentially coming back and looking to test this zone of the 1660 to this 1469. And then, like we've said in the previous videos, that we do have another potential way of counting this where this is a high here. So if we're forming this as a 1 and we're forming a bigger wave 2 here, potentially this could be A, B, C, and then we could look for this progression to the upside. So we just got to be aware of these things. If we don't manage to achieve this 2023 region, we just need to be cautious of that potential that, even if we do get a five-wave move up here, it could still look to break down in a much bigger way. So we're just going to have to monitor it and take it one step at a time. Okay, so the other thing we were talking about within this was that potential that we were looking at this, potentially as a diagonal to the downside. And we were saying that, if we came down to this 1618, potentially we could see a third wave and a fourth wave. That didn't really play out, but I was looking again at the internals of this count. And, technically speaking, we could argue that within here, we have something like this, where this is a five-wave structure, starting with the diagonal to all of this becomes 3, 4, and then we have fifth wave to the downside. So just being a little bit cautious with this. So as long as we fail to actually take this high point here of this 1847, what we need to be cautious of within this is, if we do reject from this zone, let me just throw this. So we've actually come up right into this golden pocket of this move to the downside here. So if we do reject more harshly off this zone, what I'd be cautious of is, we don't have that fourth and a fifth yet, which would make this nice and neat. There is potentially other ways we could count it. I don't really like doing it, but you could, say something like A, B, and C, and then it's done. And then this is just a bigger corrective move. The key here will be if we cross this low. If we cross this low again, then we'll have to treat this just as a corrective structure here, as a sneaky B wave. And basically, then we could be looking for that continuation to the downside. So the key thing here is, we need to just be aware that we are looking still for that potential of where we had, possibility to still break down. And that's looking for this, this bigger move here from further back here, where this could technically be a 1, flat for a 2, and we're still looking for that possibility of this third wave down here towards the 1640 area. So just need to be cautious of this. Once we start to break back above 1857, it would invalidate this move. But we need to just be a little bit, cautious that within here we don't have this as a bigger 1, 2, get a 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside, and then this was just a bigger flat correction into this high, and we're going to start to reject much harsher off of this zone. Okay, so that is basically the bearish way I'm looking at this. We still need to be aware, like this can progress to the upside, but it needs to prove itself. And I'm just being a little bit cautious about the fact that, we still have these potentials to count five-wave moves. The other way we could potentially even count this is 1, 2, this as 1, 2. So really until we actually start to take these highs, this one being the 1824 and this one actually being up here at this 1847, just need to be aware that these moves can break down. We look like we're forming a fourth wave here, but if this just actually reverses and we lose this low, then we'll have to just treat this as a corrective wave to the upside. And then what I'd be looking out for would be that potential that we could see a deeper move here, where basically, we look at this as a potential wave 1, 2, and if we throw this 1 to 1. So if we do get a rejection off here and we actually end up failing to hold that support zone that we talked about in the bullish count, potentially what we could see is a bigger move down here, and it could either be just a simple move like this, as where this move becomes an A, we get a B, and we get a C wave down towards the 1733 area. Or if this does move down deep enough towards the 1681, what we could then get is a fourth and a fifth wave to the downside. And then, this could basically tie into that idea of having a bigger flat correction here as well. We talked about that within the previous video. So there is a possibility we could see a bigger move out of these zones, but it still needs to prove itself, in my opinion. And we'd want to just avoid the fact of something like this, where we actually look for this potentially as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking to actually come back down here. Let me remove this key support zone, looking to actually come back down here into this target area that we talked about, the 1726 to the 1645. This is going to be something that, really until we take these highs again, need to just be aware. There's a possibility where we look at this potentially as a B wave into this point, and then we could look to actually break down in a bigger third wave here. So third wave, like I said, 1680 is going to be that key point. If we fail to hold this support here, this 1763, the first place I'd be looking for potential support to come in would be this 1732, looking at the possibility that within the structure it's become more complex, W or ABC, X, and then another move to the downside. That 1-to-1 would be a potentially interesting zone. However, if it does break down deeper, 1680 is going to be that area I'm keeping an eye on, where if we do get a 5-wave move down into this zone, we could potentially get another fourth and a fifth, which could actually look to bring us down towards the 1645, which would be that 1.618 if we're looking at this as an A wave here. So yeah, there is still some bearish possibilities here. We are holding support, so for as long as we do, I mean, these moves are starting to look good to the upside, nice, strong, impulsive moves. But yeah, we need to see the structure come in here now, because sometimes we'll get a B wave, which does a similar thing to an impulse, and then just falls away. So really need to see this prove itself, need to see those internals come through, and basically, form this additional fourth and fifth here, then look to find support again above this low, and then look to actually push to the upside here towards this 1618 up this 1885 area. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both Primex PT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.